Hello everyone, Rutilus here, and today guys I'm going to review a Megabloks Dragon set released in 2005 in the US and 2006 in Europe, at least in France, and it's going to be one set from the Metal Ages subsim, so it is going to be one of these dragons which came in an egg at a price of like 10 euros, $10, so well, you know this type of thing. It was first released in the Fire and Ice series, and it still goes on, well, even today with the Dragon's Universe theme. So, well, I do not have the box for this set, and also I don't have the instruction booklet, but, well, it was just, the box was in fact a transparent one to show you the egg, which is, well, the main part of the packaging, and the instruction booklet, of course, showed you how to build the dragon, which is not really that hard, and also the other sets from the subsim. So let's first talk about the egg, because it's one of the most important parts. So it's not like Metal Ages, not like Fire and Ice, where the dragons, where the eggs were quite simple. Here, as you can see, because we are in the Metal Ages, quite obviously, we're going to have iron scrap all over the place on the egg. While the egg is in fact directly made out of metal parts, and as you can see, we got many metal parts which seems to be linked, attached together in a chaotic ways. Some seems to try to cover some holes right there, maybe made by the dragons inside. So overall, a greatly detailed egg, and we still see a great mold with really the scrap part. Notice all the parts here is curved right here. It's really well done and well thought, excuse me. For the color scheme, well, it's kind of a copper color with some touch of black. And of course, you got this transparent plastic part, which is made out in a rubber elastic, I think. And well, it was useful to see the dragons through the egg, of course. You can open this thing like that, but there is no point of connection in there. Even on the bottom of the egg, there is nothing. So well, no points of connection for studs or stuff like that. No. So I'm just going to close this thing, if I manage to, like that. And so well, here's the egg, really well done, and really a great design, quite original. So with all the metal parts and stuff, really cool. But it's time to move on to the dragon, which is well the main element of this set. So well, first the body, and well, the one thing important to notice is that in comparison to the Fire and Ice dragons, this one really are thinner, if I can say so, thinner in terms of design, and also more precise, because well, you may remember that the Fire and Ice dragons were kind of bulky with some really chaotic color schemes and stuff like that, some really big parts put together. Here it's not really the case. It's really a smaller part, but it really looks better in my opinion. But well, at least it looks different. So if you have not liked the Fire and Ice dragons, you might like these new ones. So the bodies, of course, got all the points of connection for the front arms, rear legs, tail, wings, and heads. Of course, you're going to have 4 studs to attach figures on it. If you want the figures to ride the dragon, you can. Kind of like all the dragons released so far. Notice also the color scheme, which is mostly gold, also some dark green color for the skin, and some kind of little darkish gray for the spikes right there. And notice of course that it's Metal Ages, so all the dragons got armors all over the place, and as you can see, it's quite detailed, thanks first to the mold and then to the color scheme. And I think that's all. So time to move on to the limbs, and first, well, the arms, which look like that. So of course, I'm going to talk about the articulations later. You can just notice the armor right there in gold, because well, this dragon is Rutilus, and it's a gold armor dragon. In fact, in Metal Ages, all the dragons were not really named, but they all represent a type of metal precise, a type of metal. So for example, you got the aluminium one, the tin one, the iron one, the golden one, the copper one, the silver one, and on and on and on. So yes, that's how it works. and notice the spines right there, which is quite cool, plus the face, so really well done. And notice the two holes on the sides, in fact, which in fact are supposed to be useful because Megabloks released some other armors for the dragons that we were supposed to put thanks to these holes, but well, Megabloks, it seems, kind of backfire on their own ID and just released armors on 1 or 2 dragons, and that's all. So well, you can't really, there is not that tons of armor if you want to modify your dragon, and it's once again a shame because it's one, Megabloks tend to do that too often, to just have a nice ID and do not exploit it at all, in fact. And sometimes they have good ideas, but they exploit it too much, so yes. But let's talk about the dragons, so with the legs, which do not have any points of articulation, as you can see, but still have a nice color scheme. And well, once again, the paint job is quite great. There is no colors which goes all over the place, so see, it's all pretty well painted still, excuse me. Like that. Now the tail. And I think now we just have 3 elements to link. So first, the wings, which looks like that. You can notice that on the well, if you look under it, it will be just one color, so no fades at all. No fade or no other colors, so well. Here we go, and finally the head, and this time it got many colors because it got all the 3 main colors of the set, and it's really beautiful in terms of molds and in terms of paint job, and all the colors are linked together. Notice the 2 holes, which were also supposed to be used for if you want to link another armor right there. The mouth can be open, and you can see that the tongue is painted in red, and also the teeth in gray. So nice job and nice details. And that's all. Rutilus is finished. So let's. I'm just going to move to a little turn around to talk about the articulations, and this will be all, guys. So in terms of articulations, well, you got 2 points of rotation here for the shoulders. So you can go this like that. So you can move it on the rear and on the front, then up and down. Then on the elbow section, you can see you can move this thing like that and up to 90 degrees, right here. For the legs, you just got 1 point of rotation, which is a drawback in comparison to the Fire and Ice Dragons, because they got 2 points of rotation, but on Fire and Ice Dragons, it was just supposed to be moved on the sides, and it was not really useful at all, so well. The same can be said for the tail, which got 2 points of articulation on the Fire and Ice Dragons. Here it just got 1 point of rotation, if you can call it like that, but once again, it was not really useful in the Dragons Fire and Ice series. Then you got the wings with 2 points of rotation. And finally, you got the head, which can be moved up, down, can be of course open the mouth, and on the side with a rotation point. Without of course forgetting the studs right there if you want to link figures, because of course that's a part of the play features. And that's all for this dragon, so I'm maybe going to try to make a little pause, and then that will be all for this review, guys. So Rutilus is a great dragon if you want my opinion. Excuse me, like that. So it's a great dragon because it's really different in terms of design from the Fire and Ice Dragons, which were bulky, kind of little messy in terms of molds and design and stuff like that. Well, I think I mean you can like them, so see, because they're quite good. But yeah, Megabloks decided to make some thinner dragons, and I think it really works pretty well. Well, it works out well. Excuse me, it works out nicely. because well, the mod is really great in terms of details and well, in terms of details, textures, it really works quite nice. Plus, it's thin. You can easily recognize the shapes. It's all distinct and pretty well done. Then you got the color scheme, which also is quite great. The pens is really nice. There is no big problems with it. There is no colors which just goes all over the place. No, it's all well painted with some nice two colors, of course. Every time two colors are used, for example, here you can see it's not just one color but two colors, and it really helps to give you a sense of a shape of a shape or a texture thanks to the color scheme. And then you got the articulations. So, like I said, the articulations are well, you got less articulations than some other dragons, but well, they only give up on kind of use less articulation, if I can say so, because well, the ones decided to not use were not really that useful. So it's not really a big problem because well, you still have 3 points of articulations on the arm, so it's really nice. And overall, it's a great dragon, guys. It's quite original, nicely designed, nicely articulated, nicely painted. So well, you might have some complaints with that, of course, because well, nothing is perfect, of course. But seriously, for me, I think it's really a great dragon. And if you were disappointed by the Megabloks Fire and Ice dragons, you might be pleased with these ones, which are really an improvement, or at least are really different, and try a new type of design, and a type of design which in fact will be used later on other subsims. So really, I think that's quite all for this dragon, guys. So well, yes, that's all. I think that's also seriously. If you have any questions or comments, well, feel free to ask them. I will happily answer them, of course. If I did not, if I did not answer some question you might have in this review, well, feel free to ask them, of course. And that's all. So hope you enjoyed this review on Rutilus, which is a great dragon. I really can advise you to find one of the Metal Ages dragon. You have also to notice that there exist 2 types of dragons. The one which are which can stand still on 2 legs, like this one, and the other ones which can just stand still on 4 legs. So well, it's up to you, the one you prefer. There were in fact 8 dragons released in the Metal Ages subsim like that. So the 4 original ones, and then 4 other recolors. So well, you have the choice. It's all up to you, and well, that's all. So hope you enjoy this review, guys, and see you later for another video review. Bye bye.